since we shot the movie in RAW as opposed to the standard H.264, which is what you'll get out of most Canon DSLRs, we achieved a greater bit depth, which basically results in a sharper image, much deeper color latitude, and an overwhelmingly better image. So basically, for example, what the camera creates is, if you look here, creates a .raw file, which is gigantic. That's 3.43 gigabytes for a couple of minutes of footage. So what I've done is I've processed it, and it gives me this, which is called a proxy file. Basically, it's made a temporary placeholder. You notice the colors are a little weird. Basically, just so you can put it in the timeline to get a frame of reference. So you can pop that in the edit, and then you can replace it later on with the fully processed footage. So, if you will see here, we have the color corrected footage. That's what it looks like once you tinker with all the levels, curves, color levels, bring out the blue, bring out the shadows a little bit, make it less clipped to black. And then once we add a grade to the color, gives it that nice cinematic look that some people want. Make it a little orangier.
A lot of my shots involved a lot of movement with the camera. It just basically rendered the on-set audio completely useless, because if there's 2 actors walking around on gravel and then 4 camera guys and then all the people assisting the camera and holding the sound running around with them because it's a 360 shot, then suddenly you've got like 6 footsteps smashing around on gravel, and so you just can't use the sound. So we knew very early on that we were going to most likely just use the on-set sound as reference and then completely recreate the entire soundscape in Foley.
Alright, so we're back on location for where we originally filmed, Morialta Conservation Park. Purpose of us being here, getting some last minute sounds, some Foley. So we're getting some footsteps, some running, some pushing, scuffling. What we basically do is we find the scene that we need, we get the video footage that we need, we watch it intently, and then if we can, we get the record rolling, and as the record is rolling, we live step out the scene, so the steps should sync into the video.
I'm Stinger T, playing one of the roles in the short film Scorched Earth, and what we're doing right now, we're doing the ADR for that film, so it's going good so far. At the man standing in front of him isn't his father anymore. At the man standing in front of him isn't his father anymore.
So ADR is a process where you essentially get the actors to come back into a sound studio and you have them completely reperform all of their dialogue in that controlled environment. Now, the big reason we do this is because it means that you have the dialogue in a nice controlled clip that's separate from the ambience, the background, the on-set sounds, all of those different kinds of things, and that way you have just that proper level of control. It is a slightly difficult and tricky process because essentially your actors and actresses are standing in a studio trying to recreate their performance completely dead on, like bit for bit, sound for sound the whole way through, which is especially difficult when you're Ashley and you're essentially trying to completely recreate just heavy breathing to perfectly sync up with the heavy breathing that you did on set.
We saw it coming, so we built the wall. It was so.
So, I mean, and then after that, it's more or less just kind of, I mean, whatever you give us, I can kind of like chop it and move it to perfectly sync it up. Magnificent.
Waiting for the calls from security.
One of the things about the ADR is that although the actors did a very, very good job, just sometimes the performance, it just didn't quite have that intensity that they had on set. And so as a result, what we tried doing is we used as much of the on-set sound as possible, anything where the camera was essentially static, and then we interblended that with ADR and Foley soundscape. And I think we did a really, really good job of blending those two together. All right, it is 11:20 p.m. 2 days before deadline, and we have all stations operational. Now, just over here is the master edit. Now, what we have done is we have just finished putting in our fantastic cliff jump shot, and there we are, falling off a cliff. Entered into the mix, and we are down now to the VFX station.
Oh there.
So what are we working on?
We are working on the muzzle flashes. Simply put, the light that comes out of the barrel of a gun when it is fired, generally in movies, sometimes in reality, but of course, since we are making a movie, we are including them. So basically, here's our good pal Stinger T with a pistol, about to shoot our less than pal, the infected, our real life pal Sam. Here, nothing's really visible. I've had the glow cast on their bodies for a frame. However, underneath we have the blast from the gun visible for a single frame. And hopefully it'll turn out okay.
Alright. Shall we go see what the boys downstairs are doing?
I think we should.
Now, hopefully they're not in the middle of a take at the moment. Sounds like we're okay. And there he is.
How you going?
All right.
Apart from the piano and drums and an auto harp, which we discovered in here randomly, apart from those, pretty much all the other instruments are artificial. Unfortunately, we didn't have access to the London Philharmonic Orchestra to record for us, so we sufficed with Pro Tools and Xpand.
Trying to come up with something, you know, suspenseful and dark.
Right.
We're at about 5 minutes 50 in the film, so we're basically halfway there. It's going pretty good.
A lot of the fun parts were, you know, just doing the takes over and over again to get them in time, especially with the several drum layers for when Bo and Stinger are running to the camp to find me there. We recorded a low floor tom and a djembe to really fill out, you know, the rhythm part of that.
Neat.
Working pretty well.
So this is our tension sound at the moment.
Ready? Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not in the camp. I don't know where they are.
Nice.
And that sort of thing, and then
That's just
we're just gonna keep that running for a while, maybe evolve it, put some strings on top of it when it goes to the next cut and stuff. And then when he goes down and discovers the blood, have to that sort of shit happen.
So we're hopefully about to have a beautiful moment right now. Importing files, Scorched Earth audio mix. In it goes.
Woohoo!
So that's potentially it. Seems a bit quiet, but let's give it a listen. The global conflict was fought for the control of water. As a weapon. We'll experience our first little bit of score in just a short moment. First bit of dramatic music.
Nice rumble.
And there we have it. All that's left now is to choose the volume of the score at certain moments. Basically just bring it up and bring it down wherever necessary. And we, friends, have completed Scorched Earth.
Dear God, it's a space quake.